Okay. Okay, so 8-1 was when Mrs. Carlucci was there. It's the very first set of notes that you have. And if you have the packet, they're going to look like this. So it has standard form over here, and then they go through axis of symmetry. So standard form, you're going to have to know this. We're going to make a note card for it later. So y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And the biggest thing to know with this equation is that your a, if your a is positive, your graph is going to open upwards. If your a is negative, your graph will open downwards. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. The other thing is that your graph is called a parabola. So, and this is called, or spelled like parabola. Parabola is the shape of your graph. Okay. The next thing was your axis of symmetry. All right, and what this is going to divide your graph in half. And it's going to give you 1 point. So your formula for this one, this was going to be important too, that you're going to have to know. Your formula is going to be x equals negative b over 2a. So obviously this is going to give you just the x portion of it, and then you're going to have to find the y, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So again, it's going to, if you have a coordinate system that looks like this, and you have a graph that looks like this, your axis of symmetry is going to give you 1 coordinate, which is going to be here, and then you're going to be able to divide it right in half. Okay. The other thing was your vertex. So your vertex, if you have a graph that looks like this, so if you have a negative a, you're going to have a maximum vertex. It's going to be here. So this is going to be the highest point of the graph. And then if you have a positive a, you're going to have a minimum vertex. Oops. Sorry, this way. So your minimum is going to be here. That's going to look like that. All right. So, an example on the page. So your first example was y equals x squared plus 8x plus 15. And this one asked you for your axis of symmetry. It asked you for the vertex. And then you had to make a sketch. So your axis of symmetry is, well, you're only going to have 1 number here. And then your vertex, you're going to have a coordinate. All right, so we're going to use your equation x equals negative b over 2a. All right, so this is the part that it's negative b. Negative b doesn't mean it's negative. Negative b means it's the opposite of whatever your b is. So your a is going to be in front of your x squared here, and right now it's going to be a 1. So your negative b, or your opposite of b, is going to be negative 8 over 2 times whatever your a is. And your a is typically going to be a lower number. So in this case, it's going to be 1. So negative 8 over 2 times 1, which is just 2. And so negative 8 divided by 2 is going to be negative 4. So this is going to be your x. So your axis of symmetry is going to be your 1 number. So this is going to be your x. over here. So your x is going to be -4. So your vertex, what you're going to do is you're going to plug -4 in for x, for wherever you see x in your equation. So here you're going to find vertex, plug x into equation, and solve for y. Okay, so this is when you're going to use this equation here. So let's rewrite it. Y equals x squared plus 8x plus 15. So here again, you're going to solve for y. Y equals, so an x, so we're going to play -4. Anything is that you're substituting goes in parentheses. So -4 in parentheses squared plus 8 times -4 plus 15. So if you have a calculator here, this is a good time to use your calculator. So I'm going to get mine out. If not, you're going to use order of operations, and we'll go through that too. Okay, so here is your calculator, and you're just going to plug in what you have. So again, when you're plugging in, you're going to put -4 in parentheses plus 8 times -4 plus 15. So just like you see it when you write it out, and you're going to get negative, which is not right. Oh, I didn't put squared, sorry. Do it again. -4 squared plus 8 times -4 plus 15. There you go, -1. So then your y is going to be equal to -1. Okay, so now you're going to have a vertex. So your vertex now is going to be your x and y. So -4, -1 in parentheses. So if you don't have a calculator for a test or something like that, and you did this, so I'm just going to do this one over here, -4 squared plus 8 times -4 plus 15. So -4 squared is like -4 times -4, which is positive 16. 8 times -4 minus 32 plus 15. And here again, you're going to do order of operation. So it's going to be 16 minus 32. So it's going to be -16 plus 15, which is going to be -1. So order of operations are your PEMDAS for that. All right. So if you were to sketch this, go back to your equation. A is whatever is in front of your x squared here, which is +1. So no matter what, it's going to be looking like this, something like this. Okay, and your axis of symmetry is going to be -4, -1, -4, -1. It's going to be right here. Let's just say. So it's going to be a divided right here, -4, -1, and that's all you need to know for that one. All right, let's do another one. Let's do it on this side. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go down to, let's do a -1. Let's do number 5. Alright. -5, -x squared minus 4x and minus 2. So your equation again, your axis of symmetry. And your vertex. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator. If you have a calculator, if not, then just do order of operations. Alright, so again, you're going to do your axis of symmetry, and you're going to use your -b over 2a. Negative b is not negative, it means opposite of whatever your b is. Your b is attached to 1x. So here is your b. The opposite of -4 is going to be 4 over 2 times whatever your a is. And a is going to be right here. It's a -x or -1x, so -1. So it's 4 over 2 times -1, -2. 4 divided by -2 negative 2. So your axis of symmetry is going to be negative 2. So this is going to be your x, remember? Negative 2. Vertex, plug it in. So plug negative 2 into your original equation. So again, wherever you see a negative, this one's a little bit trickier because you already have a negative one right there. So plug it in. Okay, leave the negative that's already there. So it's going to be negative. Y equals negative, plug it in, negative 2 squared minus 4 times negative 2 minus 2. Okay, so again, I'm going to use my calculator. If you have one, great. Use your calculator. Negative 2 squared minus 4 negative 2 minus 2. So again, when you plug in things, make sure you have your parentheses around them and you do it right exactly like that in the calculator. Okay, so this is going to be y equals 2. So then your vertex is going to be your x, y together. So it's going to be negative 2, 2. Okay, so negative 2, 2. That's going to be where your vertex or your very middle of the graph is going to be. Okay, so if you were doing negative 2, 2, it's going to be like up here. All right, so here it's going to open downwards. So there you go. So negative 2, 2 is going to be right here. Negative 2, 2. And this is where it's going to be cut in half at. Right? So if you did not understand those ones, I would strongly suggest going through your notes packet. And I just did the very first one in number 5. I would strongly suggest doing a few more positives, a few more negatives, so you can get the hang of it. Again, if you don't have questions on this one, great. If you do have questions, make sure you ask me during your office hours on, you can ask me during class time on Tuesday, which would be great because we're doing a review, or you can do Friday. Okay, so this is 8.1.